Hello friends, bienvenidos. My name is Jen, aka Jen Kahlo on social media, your local witchy friend and intuitive guide through the occult. As always, my lovely husband and co-host is David, aka Premier Pulls on social media.
Hi everyone, on today's episode, Jen explains the Summer Solstice.
Welcome to the show, grab a chair, make yourself at home. Jen's got stories to share, you'll never feel alone.
I can't believe we haven't done an episode on this, and we started back in 2023. I think we've just been busy with other things.
You asked me if we had done it, and I think we've done a winter solstice and a spring equinox.
I don't even know if we've done a winter solstice.
I think we have. Yeah,
Okay.
I think we did that instead of like Christmas or something.
We'll have to check, but honestly, we're at episode 82 at this point, or I don't even know. I've lost track. Definitely over 80 episodes. So sometimes I'm like, have we done that? And I have to scroll through the whole catalog.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm also surprised we haven't done a summer solstice because where we live, the summer gets super hot. We're not even in full-blown summer. We're recording still at the beginning of June. And we've hit like one day over 100, but it can get up to like 115, over a period of like 3-4 days in a row. So
I remember one time Apple weather glitched and it said that it was going to be 122 and everyone was freaking out and was like, we got to get out of here.
Yeah, we canceled events. I remember there was like a party we were going to go to and the host was like, I think I'm going to have to cancel that. It was still really hot though. It was like 110, so it was still over. It was 3 digits for sure. But yeah, it's the summer. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, let's talk about this powerful sun. So midsummer is the longest day of the year. It happens once a year, usually in June, and it kicks off the summer in the northern hemisphere.
Okay.
In the southern hemisphere, it's their winter solstice.
Yeah, it's like flipped, right? Yeah.
Which is so cool.
And the equator's what divides.
And in the type of astrology that I practice, which is Western astrology, it's also the first day of Cancer season. So the summer solstice aligns with the first day of Cancer season.
I love that concept of, what do they call them? Snowbirds? Like the older people that go down to Florida in the winter to stay warm, and then they come up, north for the warm months.
Yeah.
That's a cool life to live, right? Especially if you go back and forth between cold and hot. Those people have the luxury of like being warm year round.
Yeah, I'd also love to be a snowbird.
What do you prefer? Do you prefer the cold weather or the warm weather?
I think when I was coastal pretty much my whole life until we moved here to the Central Valley. And I really loved summer. That was my favorite season. But now I want to say that my favorite season is probably spring.
Yeah, spring here is nice. We only get about 3 solid months of like decent weather, and then it's extremes. Like when it gets cold here, it gets cold, and then when it gets hot, it gets hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I used to really enjoy like colder weather. I lived in San Francisco and it was always like rainy and gloomy, and I think after that experience I was like, no, I do kind of like the warm a little bit more, but honestly the best weather is like coastal weather. I think that's my favorite type of weather, where it's like it's sunny, it's nice, but it's like bearable.
But you know what? I still love summer, and the summer solstice, kicks off summer, and it's really the celebration of the sun. Yeah. There are so many different cultures that celebrate different things in the summer solstice, but overall, the one thing they have in common is that they're celebrating the sun.
The sun. It's interesting because you talk so much about the moon and the stars, which like the sun is a star, but I feel like we don't touch on the sun too much. With the moon, you're always you even have your like moon mapping going on in our Patreon. You talk about like there's the different episodes of the moon. You talk about like the red moon, and you focus a lot like in the darkness, but I don't know if we've ever really talked too much about the sun, other than I forgot what we called it, but it was essentially like the birthday episode where it's like
the solar return.
The solar return, yeah. But apart from that, you mostly focus on the moon.
Yeah, I think just because everybody knows their sun sign, aka like their birthday sign, that it seems a little overrated. But the sun is never overrated.
Of course not. Yeah, we couldn't have life without the sun.
Yeah, it rules Leo, and it dictates like joy, vitality, ego, purpose. The sun represents a lot of things. So in midsummer, it's a celebration across various cultures of the sun, obviously joy, abundance, fertility, and being halfway between like the planting and the harvesting.
Okay. I really always liked when you talked about spring as being like a new beginning for, just everything in general. Plants are blooming. It's interesting that we use January 1st as like the beginning of the year. It really should be around springtime. But with that said, with spring being like new birth, kind of reborn, starting fresh, like what does summer mean? Like what would summer fall upon?
Yeah, summer represents, are you really living life to the fullest? Are you living within your purpose and authenticity? Are you being happy? Like that's really what midsummer is all about. And fire is a major element in midsummer, which can represent just releasing any negativity or anything holding you back. So a lot of different cultures will also have bonfires during midsummer. And a quick, easy sort of like releasing ritual is if you have a safe place to burn something, like you can throw something into the fire and have it signify like whatever thing you're trying to release, whether it's like a limiting belief or like someone annoying in your life or something. You just throw it and you watch it burn and it goes away.
I feel like I have to do my Smokey the Bear PSA, especially since a lot of our listeners are in California. Please be careful when working with fire. I recently went camping over Memorial Day weekend, and they had like a no fire clause in place. So you could use the barbecues that they have there, but you couldn't have like a fire pit, which, yeah, it can be annoying, but also fire in California like does not go well. So if you are doing a bonfire or you're working with fire, especially right now in the dry heat, please be very careful.
Yep. Another way you can celebrate it without fire is flower crowns. This is where flower crowns come because the life cycle of a plant, like in the middle, like between planting and harvesting, you have a lot of things blooming because they want to get fertilized into like a fruit or a vegetable or whatever it is. So you have a lot of flowers out. So yeah, people make flower crowns, and there's a really interesting tradition. I forget what culture it's from. I couldn't find it, but I read that some people back in the day would put 7 flowers under their pillow to attract a partner.
Oh, okay.
During midsummer.
Okay.
Which I think is kind of a cute ritual, but if you're allergic, then maybe put them under your bed, not directly under your pillow. Yeah. That might be cute.
Yeah, that's a good little ritual.
Yeah, I think that like love spells where it's like, I want this person against their will, like make their will bend towards me, like that's not a good love spell. But if it's like, I want to attract the like right person, a partner, so that they find me faster type of thing, like that's cool.
Yeah. So you said it's the longest day of the year. Are you
in the northern hemisphere?
In the northern hemisphere. Are you, or I guess us, are we doing anything special for that day?
We got invited to a birthday party.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, which is part of celebrating midsummer. So midsummer is celebrated with bonfires, parties, feasts, music, just being alive and happy. So yeah, at the very least, just go party. Just go do something fun for yourself during midsummer.
Now, I know, especially for 2025 at the beginning of the year, you did a forecast and you talked about how that first half be a little more cautious. It's more about keeping to yourself, making sure you're taking care of yourself, taking inventory of like where you are. And honestly, I remember you doing that forecast and I was like, it's kind of gloomy the first half of the year. We have some people who listen to our podcast and they were like, so I can't like date or go find a partner at the beginning of 2025. And you're like, that's probably the time to work on your own. But I do also remember you clearly saying like, the second half of 2025 is a good time to start working on some of that manifesting. If you're looking for a partner, that could be the time to do it. So is this like summer solstice kind of that turning point of 2025 that you mentioned?
Yeah, it is for a lot of.
Or do you know what? Did I get that correct?
Yeah, you did, okay. But that's because of a lot of like the different retrogrades and things like that, and eclipses that were happening in the beginning. But now things are looking peachy and going well. So
we're coming out of it.
yeah, for a lot of different reasons. We have the sun moving into Cancer, which is like a very caring energy. We also have Jupiter, which went into Cancer, which listen to our Luck and Abundance episode if you want to learn more about that. We have a lot of different planets going into Aries, like Saturn, a generational planet, has gone into Aries.
Oh, and that's the fire. No, the Mars is the fire planet, right? But Aries is also.
So Mars is a fire planet because it rules Aries, yes, but it's more like the planet of war. Like the fire planet is the sun,
Yes.
like because the sun.
So what does Jupiter going into Aries mean in the summer?
Jupiter went into Cancer.
Oh, Cancer,
which
okay.
we talked about in Luck and Abundance.
Yes. Okay.
But with Saturn going into Aries, it's a lot of like quick discipline and a good practice on like enforcing your boundaries. This
Okay.
is sort of a side tangent, but I had a very fascinating conversation with my supervisor. I work with like humans and mental health and all of these things. And she was like, someone crossing your boundaries is a fallacy usually because you establish your boundaries like if someone crosses your boundaries, then you have to react to uphold the boundary. So for example, let's say like your friend was always coming over and just coming into your house uninvited.
I do that. I do that a lot. I've
Yes.
found myself into trouble because they've been in compromising situations is all I'm going to say.
Let's say David is crossing his friend's boundary.
Which I'm going to continue to do. But
Okay, yeah, exactly. So the boundary is not moved with David, the boundary is moved by you. So if the friend really wanted to uphold the boundary, the friend is going to change the door code and lock their door. And then David is stuck outside being like, hey, why can't I come in? But they're enforcing their boundary. Yeah. So Saturn in Aries is a big lesson on like enforcing boundaries, not living for anyone else's approval. But it can also lead to people sort of popping off a little more and trying to enforce like their autonomy. So just be careful with that. Maybe,
don't overstep.
Yeah, maybe people quick to pop off. Everything has its good and bad, right? So what I'm looking forward to in Saturn and Aries is being able to live a little more authentically and have that like, I'm gonna do me.
I want to give more context. So this person has a pool. So I don't always want to go to his house. I just like using his pool. So I'll just like go in through the side gate and go swim. But funny enough, we're in a group chat with a bunch of friends, and one of the friends said like, hey, we should have a pool party at his house. Like it's not even his house and he's already saying like, let's put it up. And I was like, yeah, like sure, let's just go whenever. Like I don't think we need to ask, let's just walk in. So enforce those boundaries because people like me will definitely test them.
Neptune will also be in Aries at this time. So yeah, a lot of things are going to be in Aries, in fire signs. So that's what's sort of changing the tune for the second half of 2025. But overall, midsummer, regardless of what's going on with the other planets, it's just a good time to check in with yourself and make sure that you're happy.
Okay. Yeah, so it's like an inventory check. How does Hot Girl Summer tie into all of this? But like actually though.
Well, I would say that Hot Girl Summer definitely ties into this because again, we're talking about like beauty, happiness, fertility, like all of these things. And I think that if we talk about some of the different cultures and how they celebrate, you'll be able to see a lot of Hot Girl Summer themes. So the Greeks celebrated Apollo, which is the god of sun, light, and music, which check. We have all of these things in the summer solstice, especially if you have a party, blast some tunes. And Hestia, which is the goddess of the hearth, home, and domestic harmony. Do you know what a hearth is?
No, what's a hearth?
Hearth is like a fireplace, like in sort of more ancient homes. Obviously, they didn't have like
dedicated
HVAC and all heaters. Of those things. Yes, so they would have like a big sort of like fireplace that would be in the center of the home to like warm up as much of the house as possible. So, she controlled that. Hestia controlled that fire, that warmth. The Romans celebrated the god Sol Invictus, aka the god of the unconquered sun, representing strength and vitality. And then the Norse celebrated Balder, which is the god of light, beauty, and renewal, and Freyja, which is the goddess of love, fertility, and abundance. The Celtic people celebrated the god Belenus, which was solar energy, fertility, and healing. And then, of course, we have the Catholics coming in and wanting to line something up so nicely with the pagans. So it's a nice transition. We have St. John's Day, or St. John the Baptist.
That's in the summer?
Yeah, which is around midsummer, is like his feast day, because midsummer always changes depending on like the sun. I believe his feast day is like June 21st, which is like hit or miss. Like if you're gonna just pick a stationary day, that's like pretty close
enough. Yeah.
Close enough, yeah. And one of the ways you celebrate St. John's is with bonfires.
Oh,
and
nice.
Feasts.
Yeah.
So
I guess America kind of does that too in July with 4th of July, with all the fireworks and just lighting the sky with the eye candy.
Yeah, but I don't think that's like necessarily because of midsummer.
No, I know, but it kind of lined up.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I wish we would do more, and I think we can start getting into, I feel like every time we talk about like traditions and different cultures, we do tend to stay to like westernized, like ancient tradition, like the Greeks, the Romans, the Catholics, but I know there is a lot of great lore and stories with like Polynesian communities, as well as like indigenous communities. My only like kind of resource, I think, that I can think off the top of my head is with like Maui from Moana, that he like went to the underworld and stole the sun, right? And then like gave it to the people. But I think their stories are really cool. What I like about the stories from like Polynesian, Hawaiian kind of tribalism origins is they take like their surroundings and they give explanations to like why this exists, or like why there is, the coconuts, or again the land, or even the island themselves, which I think is super interesting. But I'm sure they have really great rituals as well.
Well, Polynesia is huge.
Yeah,
like it stretches from like Hawaii down to like New Zealand, basically. So it spans both the northern and southern hemisphere. So we tend to like, or I guess I'll speak for me, I tend to gravitate towards like, these things like the Greeks, the Romans, things like that, just because the northern hemisphere aligns with my experience, which is also why I practice Western astrology. Like, I don't understand Vedic astrology. It doesn't call to me because that's not my experience. That's like in the southern hemisphere. I'm in the northern hemisphere. So I'm gonna like practice and study things that make sense to my POV, and I'm always going to live in the northern hemisphere. So I appreciate like the other cultures and things like that, but like logically that's just why like we don't touch
on it too much. I think for this one, that would be really interesting to know like what their rituals are and what their understanding is of the sun. I really like this because it talks a lot about like the positive things and the things you should be doing. Is there anything that should be avoided astrologically during this time? We recently did the Luck and Abundance episode, and I think people who read the Luck and Abundance title were like, oh, this is like about like the good stuff and and like having good luck and abundance, which we did touch upon. But we also talked about like the negative part of it, right? Like the overabundance and how luck is created. Now with summer, there's a lot of things it sounds like you should be doing, and kind of the fruit of your labors are coming in during summer. But is there anything that we should be wary of, or anything we should be cautious of during these months?
I don't know about being cautious. It's just like if you don't celebrate midsummer, if you don't choose to do anything with it, you're just gonna miss out on the opportunity for some joy. So I don't think it's necessarily like a good time to like look inward, try to do some hardcore like shadow work. I mean, you could if you wanted to. No one's stopping you.
That's what I'm like. This is not the hermit time, basically.
Yeah, not really. But you do what you want.
Yeah. I know with spring we start getting out more. Winter we're usually pretty cozied up. But with summer is like when we're really social. Like from when you're kids, you look forward to summer. You look forward to spending time with your friends, and a lot of people kind of head to the lakes and bodies of water. It's a lot of socializing, and you touched upon it briefly of like people setting their boundaries. But what does like the summer solstice and the astrology say with like our socializations? Do we have any like retrogrades or anything we should look out for as far as like our relationships with people? Because we are going to be so enthralled with like our whole social group.
Luckily, not in June. So
okay,
we're good there.
Done
so
June. Okay.
This year's summer solstice is like really like
mellow.
You're in the clear. You're good to go. Maybe some like generational planets like further out there might be like retrograde or starting to go retrograde, but in terms of like the societal or the personal planets, we're fine.
And what about like dating and summer? Like if you're looking for a partner, is that a good time to do it? Is it gonna be like summer flings, or can you find like true partnership during this time?
I think so, because so many planets are going into Cancer, which is like an emotional and domestic sign, that if you're looking for a long-term partner, I think it's a great time to do it.
This is a good time.
But if you want to have a fling, that's cool too.
No, like I said, I'm kind of curious. Like after the summer solstice ends, like does all the magic kind of wear off, or?
I think a lot of it also depends on your personal astrology, because it's like, where is Cancer? Where is Leo? Like all of the like upcoming signs, where for Libra risings specifically, it's a great time to like be in relationships or take your relationships to the next level.
Ooh, we'll touch on that a little bit.
Yeah, so for Libra risings, myself included.
Excuse me?
What?
You're gonna find a new relationship?
No, take your relationship to the next level.
No, go ahead. I'm just joking.
So Saturn is going to go into Aries, which rules a Libra rising 7th house, which is about literally bringing your relationships to the next level. And then we also have Jupiter going through Cancer, which is crossing the midheaven, the 10th house of like career notoriety. So just so many good things are happening during this time.
So take advantage of that. Yeah. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily have anything to do with midsummer. It's just like what's happening right now. But yeah, I think that it's worth a shot to do the 7 flowers thing under the bed. That sounds like a cute ritual.
Yeah.
Cute, harmless ritual.
What can you remind me again? What day is summer solstice this 2025? Is June what?
Between June 22nd and 23rd.
Oh, okay. It's not an exact 24.
No, it's not an exact, but it changes every year. I'm seeing conflicting dates, because when I look at the ephemeris, it says that the sun goes into Cancer on June 22nd. It just depends on where you are, like time zone wise.
I see.
Because like if you're listening in Europe versus if you're listening in the US, but 22nd, 23rd, you'll be good. Awesome.
I have one more question just about the summer like solstice. I know you are a big advocate and proponent like of charging things under the moon, like a full moon. You'll charge your crystals. If you're working on a spell, you'll charge your candles. Is there anything equivalent for like the summer, or maybe on this summer solstice day, like making sun tea, or I don't know, like is there anything that like the sun offers magically?
Yeah, so if you wanted to, let's say, decorate your altar, and you wanted to use specific crystals, obviously like sunstone, any of the like red, yellow, orange sort of tone stones, also tiger's eye, those would be good to use during this time, as well as if you wanted to like drying flowers for like magical purposes, because you have the sun's power. I would never really charge crystals in the sun, because like logically if it like what's it
just
called?
a fire hazard.
Like retracts or refracts, or what's that word? Light. If it points light the wrong way, like it could cause fire, or your crystals could fade.
Tell your story about the magic crystal ball.
Which one?
Remember you talked to somebody who had or was giving you advice of like, if you ever get a crystal ball, and like make sure to cover it.
Oh no, that's like an internet copy pasta thing. But it's true. Like someone was buying like a crystal ball, and then the person was like, "Oh, if you get a crystal ball, like make sure you cover it in the sunlight." And they were like, "Ooh, why? What's gonna happen?" And they're like, "No, it's a fire hazard."
Yeah.
But also the sun has powerful UV light, and it could like damage your crystal as well, especially if it's very like sensitive. Like I'm thinking something like sort of dainty, like rose rose quartz, it could like make it fade, things like that. So I wouldn't necessarily charge crystals in the sun, but you could dry flowers.
Like drying things out.
Yeah. If you wanted to do like a spiritual bath, like using like rose petals, sunflowers, obviously, association with the sun, chamomile is good. Like I said, roses, things like that.
And what powers does it give the item? So I know with the sun, it like amplifies its magic power, but what does the sun do?
So when it comes to things like ritual baths or like redecorating your altar or things like that, it's not necessarily that the sun is directly giving it power. It's more you're taking advantage of the time and you have a ceremonial vessel that can hold your attention and focus so that you can direct your energy towards this thing, whether it's like finding a partner, living your most authentic life, like whatever you're trying to achieve. Like that's why ceremonial magic and like all of these like things with items are so handy. It's not the item itself that is magical, it's just like a tool for you to funnel that magic through. It's like a focal point for your energy.
Okay, no, that makes total sense.
Yeah, so I do want to talk about one interesting artifact on Earth that coincides with midsummer after this ad break. Today's episode is brought to you by us, Kythera Collective. If you've been vibing with the energy of the show, then you're going to love the Kythera Club over on Patreon. It's a space that I built for the cosmic, the curious, and the slightly chaotic. You know who you are. With 3 delicious tiers to choose from, we start with the chocolate level at $4 a month, which gains you access to weekly horoscopes and the exclusive Unhinged podcast, where I say things that don't make it to this main feed. It's sweet, it's spicy, and it's just for you. Next, we have the cafe level at $7 a month. This is where things really start to get cooking. You'll receive access to exclusive workshops, monthly virtual hangouts, and a private Discord community where you can chat directly with me and receive exclusive behind-the-scenes updates. It's magical, cozy, and a little unhinged in the best way. Finally, we have the tequila level. This is the VIP lounge. At $25 a month, you'll receive everything from the previous tiers, plus a personal 15-minute one-on-one session with myself or David each month, and discounts if you want to extend the session. It's a whole vibe and a powerful way to receive personalized guidance. So if you've been laughing along with us, crying or rage screaming in agreement, come hang out with us at the Kythera Club. Head over to patreon.com/JenCalo and choose your tier. If you want to sponsor an episode and advertise with us, go to our website, www.jencalo.com. All right, now back to the show. Did you know, maybe you knew this, did you know that Stonehenge in England is correlated with midsummer because it's aligned with the sunrise on the summer solstice?
Yeah, I didn't necessarily know it was Stonehenge, but I do know there was like ancient civilizations that would do things like that, where only once a year it would like line up perfectly, so you'd be able to see like a certain image, or it would like create a focal point to like a line or something. It's a very overused trope in like movies. Right off the bat, I think of Nicolas Cage's oh my gosh, his movie about like the treasure hunter. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. He's like a treasure hunter. It's like a super popular movie. I can't believe
Indiana Jones?
No.
I don't know movies like that. Honestly, I didn't watch a lot of movies
I think it's
as
like
a
Book
kid.
of Treasure or something. But yeah, so part of that was like it could only align once a year because the sun is like perfectly aligned through like a little hole, and it like creates just the in the movie it created like a clue. But yeah, that's something I'm aware of. It's called National Treasure. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, so something interesting, not necessarily about midsummer, but just about these things. So, you know, I love me some aliens.
Yes.
But when you say that aliens created something from ancient civilizations, you may not know it. And at first I thought it was like a little harmless, like, oh, haha, aliens made the pyramids or aliens made Stonehenge. It's actually very racist because you're discrediting the ancient people that actually built those things. It's like you don't think they're capable of like building the pyramids or like building Stonehenge. So just be careful careful with that. If you ever like jokingly say like such and such thing was built by aliens, you might be perpetuating like a racist undertone.
Okay. But sorry, I think I interviewed a little bit. So tell me about Stonehenge. What happens during the summer solstice?
It gets aligned with the sunrise.
Oh, okay. So as the sun is coming up, it like perfectly matches the Stonehenge? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That'd be cool to see.
Yeah. It would. I'm sure someone's got like a YouTube video of it, but my overall point is that it was like an astronomical tracking tool, which is very, very cool. That like
a sundial?
Yeah, it was so precise, like that they could do things like this. Like, I don't know. I just think it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, something to keep in mind with the summer solstice is just like, where am I shining my brightest and how can I reach my full potential? And if you want like a whole list of like what herbs to use, what animals are associated, what gods are associated, Zia at Infinity Coven, she just wrote her first book.
Did she?
And it's the Wheel of the Year. So all of the like pagan sort of Sabbaths or celebrations like Midsummer, Samhain, which is Halloween, Yule, like all of that. She did such beautiful, extensive research, which some of this I used for the episode today because she gifted me a copy.
Oh, we definitely have to give her a shout out.
Yeah. So go to Infinity Coven in San Francisco, or you can order one online. It's such a beautiful book. It has journal prompts. It has like tarot. I'm blanking on the word for it, but like tarot spreads. That's what, tarot spreads for like all the different holidays, and you could celebrate like all the different points in the year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good understanding of like the summer solstice, but it'd be interesting to talk about how summer. I mean, I think overall, I mean, we talk about this very specific day, but it's all encompassing summer. So it'd be really cool to hear just about our personal experience with summer. Kind of what that means to us, and then how we can use the ideology of like the summer solstice to plan our summer.
Yeah, I feel like always
well, first off, our birthdays in the summer, right?
Yes, so, to start off,
what does that say about us? Like we've done the Leo episode, so I think it's very appropriate that our birthday is in the summer based on what you've taught me with astrology and like our astrological signs. But what do you have to say about it yourself?
Just me personally, I always feel like around midsummer, I just feel like fully charged. Like I've reached like my peak power for the year. Like I'm very sun charged and like sun dependent. I get seasonal affective disorder like real bad. I do not like the winter. Yeah.
I think we do also need to be careful about like, because that's an actual disorder that you have not been diagnosed with. So like, you get the blues in the winter, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm just throwing that out there.
Okay.
Because if we're going to be consistent, we should be consistent.
All right.
Not just throwing out, mental health diagnoses.
True.
It is a very true and real affliction, so I don't want to discredit it. But yeah, obviously there's vitamin D deficiencies that you get in the summer. Just be very careful because...
You mean in the winter?
In the winter you get the deficiencies, but even for people who are like darker skin like me, it's also important to like wear your sunscreen, so don't go outside without your sunscreen to enjoy that sun.
Yeah, that's funny. I'm always deficient, and my doctor's like, you gotta take like. I remember one time they made me take like super powered vitamin D. It was like 50,000 units in one pill.
Oh shit.
Yeah. I was like
you
really,
were glowing
really low.
Afterwards, probably.
Yeah, I know. I wonder if maybe that's why I feel better in the sun. Okay, so like I have been diagnosed with low vitamin D. That is like a thing.
Correct. Yes.
In my history since I can remember. So I wonder if that's why I feel so good in the summer, because like I'm not as deficient.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
We synthesize it in our skin and stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Interesting.
But what does summer mean to you? Like, when you were a kid, was that something you look forward to? See, okay, tangent a little bit. I know a lot of people and kids growing up that they did not look forward to the summer because that means that's the time they have to work with their parents, right? So they're like, shit, like, yeah, I get to go out of school, but... now I have to go work at my parents' shop, or I know we also know people who like worked in the fields like growing up. I think everybody has like a different interpretation. Usually you want to say it's like happy times, but again, if you're aligning to the school schedule with summer, it's not everybody's favorite time. There's also summer school.
Yeah. I think I liked it just because I did get that break from school, but I still kept myself busy. Like I would still go to the library and check out books. Also because I was in AP classes, we had like summer reading, like we had summer homework, but I mean, it was cool. I got like ahead of it, and I like finished it pretty quickly. But yeah, I just like the summer in general.
Yeah.
I like that it sets later, so you have more time to do stuff with the light out.
Yeah. Even though here where we are, sometimes like 9 p.m., it's still like the sun is out and it's still like almost 100 degrees. So at a certain point, you're like, okay, like let's cool it down a little bit.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, very true.
Summer was really interesting for me because my mom always made me go to summer school. I think she just thought you had to go to summer school. She didn't understand that like it was a choice, or like you only kind of went if you weren't doing good during the year. And then my brother never had to go, so that always pissed me off because she kind of learned with him.
Yeah.
But I remember having to go to summer school, which it wasn't my favorite. It kind of sucked, but I also didn't feel like I was missing out too much. Like I never did like summer camps where go away for a couple weeks, to a camp or anything like that. I just remember not having to go to school, which was nice. And then it was like my birthday in the summer. So like I really, really enjoyed that. But the thing to me that's like most attractive about summer is it's like water time, right? Mm-hmm. And I love the water, as we've like talked about in many episodes in the past. So swimming, going to the lake, going to the beach, like the summer was like the time to do it. I do remember one time my cousins and I went like boogie boarding every day in the summer, and those memories were super fun. And now as an adult, I'm very fortunate that my job kind of aligns with the summer school or with the school calendar. So summers usually are a little bit slower for us, and I'm able to get like that respite, which is nice.
Nice, that's awesome. My job is pretty consistent all year round.
Yeah, we're recording on a Sunday today, and I don't have the Sunday scaries, so
yeah, that's nice.
That's good. But for me now, like the typical or like the perfect stereotypical summer for me would be like, going on the lake, going like fishing. I think would be super fun. We don't own any like water like toys like jet skis or boats, but I think it'd be cool to like rent a boat or go on a boat and just go on the lake. We have a really beautiful lake. So it's funny how I think just naturally with the seasons, we're already as humans kind of doing what you talked about, which is like go out, enjoy, like be with the people you want to be. Like this is the time to be social, right?
Yeah, I like that in the summer there's more like block parties and stuff because and like also kickbacks, just because I think the weather is nicer even if it's like late at night. Like what's that rapper's name? Lil Rob?
Yeah, Summer Nights.
Summer Nights, yeah, that's like such a vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was my favorite things as like an adult or a young adult at least was like the summer kickbacks at night. Yeah.
What's your favorite summer memory as like a kid?
I think for me, it was just being home without having like anything to do and having the ability to like choose my day, whether it was like I'm gonna read a book that I want to read and just like be cozy, or like I'm gonna play with my parrot. I had a lot of birds growing up. Yeah, like I get to hang out with my parrot all day. I remember I would like spray him down with water when it was hot, in like the super gentle like mist setting, and he would like flap his wings and like he would want it. He would be very happy and like get it under his wings and stuff. So that's a beautiful memory. And the way that he would tell me he wanted like splashy time is he would stick his foot in his water bowl and just stare at me.
He's like, you know what this means.
Yeah, so then I would grab the hose and change it to the gentle mist setting, and he'd be flapping his wings all happy.
Yeah. Well, now as an adult and kind of where we are in life, like what's your ideal summer?
My ideal summer in the Central Valley is...
Getting out of the Central Valley?
Getting out of the Central Valley, or going somewhere with AC, like not necessarily being at home, but... just being somewhere cool.
Like the movie theater.
The mall, someone's house. Yeah. There's not much to do in the Central Valley when it's hot like that.
There's not. I just remembered also, I wasn't a kid anymore. I was in college. And I right out of college, I got a job working at an after school program. So during like the regular school year, I just did like that after school program. But then they had the summer programs that were put on by the city, by Parks and Rec usually. And those were super fun to work because we had all these cool field trips. You know, we'd go to the movies, we'd do like ice cream days. There was, with the after school program during the year, it kind of sucked because you had to do like more, structured things like homework time and like extracurricular stuff. But with the summer, it was really like a cool free-for-all, and obviously it was a great program because, you know, summer's really usually only for the kiddos. Like, adults have jobs, so there's not like a summer break. So it was a way to have like parents have a safe outlet for their kids to go hang out, and those were always really fun. But some of my really cool summer memories were like my brother would come visit me, and then he would enroll in the summer program, so I'd be like working and he'd be there, so it was really cool. We'd like, I think one time I signed them up for like skate camp, and it was just a good bonding time and just really good vibes.
Oh, sure. That's awesome.
Yeah. But yeah, so I mean, we're recording this like June 1st, so happy Pride. What are our plans for the summer?
Yeah, this summer, we have for sure a cool birthday party to go to.
Yeah.
And
on the actual summer solstice day that you mentioned, right? Yeah.
And then walking Lucy at night is going to be fun because it's not going to be too cold, but when the sun is set, you know, we can take our time. Also, a lot of people in our neighborhood are very active. I love to see it. And they're going to be out when it's later too, so we're going to see a lot of people also walking their dog at night.
Absolutely. And then obviously the biggest part of the summer is our birthday.
Yeah.
And this is a big one for both of us, right? You're turning 30.
Yep.
And I'm turning 35. For my 30th, I wanted to go pretty big, but it ended up being like COVID, so that kind of sucked. But for your 30th, yeah, what do you feel about that? Your 30th rotation around the sun?
I feel like I've been 30 for a long time, so I feel like I'm finally gonna be authentic.
Yeah.
Like, I'm 30, I don't need this shit. Too old for this shit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, but no, I'm happy to kind of throw a big party. I haven't really like thrown a big party for myself in a while, so I'm excited for us to throw a joint party for both of us.
Yeah, I think that'll be super fun.
One of my favorite things to do in the summer is to make my own iced teas. I specifically love making rose mint tea, which, you know, you probably see a lot of pictures of in the summer when I make it.
Yeah.
I like to cold brew it. Like, some teas are good cold brewed and some are not, but this is a really, really good one.
Yeah. I'm glad we did this episode. I feel like sometimes a lot of our episodes have like, they're just a little heavier and we talk about like deeper things. Again, even the luck and abundance was like a heavier topic and it wasn't as like light as people may have thought. But summer's always a fun time, and I think that covers all the yearly like bookmarks, right? Or are we missing one? I guess a fall. Is there like a fall one?
There's the fall equinox.
I don't think we've done fall equinox.
Or the autumn equinox. Yeah.
Equinox, so.
And then if you look at the pagan like wheel, the next one is called, it sounds like llama, but I don't know if it's pronounced that way, but it's the grain harvest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So it has like way more celebrations like in between, but maybe we can make an episode about that.
I think that would be really cool. And then, you know, summer, also be careful. Please stay hydrated.
Yep.
Please stay, you know, stay cool. Don't like overdo it, because it doesn't take too much to like overheat.
Oh, that's one thing we like to do. We like to go to the movies in the summer.
Yeah, we love
because
movies.
the AC's blasting. Although there was one time that the AC was broken and we were watching a movie that was like set in the desert, and it felt like the real experience because we were sweating and the character was in the desert all dusty. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, well, I think that was a great episode. If somebody wants to plan out their summer astrologically with you, how can they get a hold of you?
Yes, get in touch. Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Blue Sky at Jen Kahlo, and our website, jenkahlo.com. Remember, if you like this show, rate it and give it 5 stars wherever you're listening.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Remember, the magic within you makes the world a more beautiful place. Blessed be signing off, and have some fun this summer.
Bye.